Hey, good morning, y'all. It's Anjali again from the Dusty Hive, and I just want to thank you for joining me on this Thankful Thursday. It's kind of what I've made Thursdays about was just about sharing about gratitude and just how we can be more active in that. And so, thanks for joining me today. And I do want to say thank y'all for showing up this week. We just appreciate. Sorry about that. There was a phone call trying to come in, and I don't know if it, anyhow, it rang, it showed up on my screen. I've never had that happen before. But anyhow, I was saying thank y'all for showing up this week, and thanks for the encouragement and the likes and just the comments. I've had a couple of great conversations over some of the things that we've talked about this week. And I hope that this morning, just really what was on my heart this morning, and that, that'll just help you a little bit in your journey. Hey, good morning, Winnie. I love your heart too. Thank you for sharing with me earlier in the week. It was just such a blessing. I was so blessed by it. I've had a lot of good comments about that and personal conversations with people about it. So it was definitely one for the books. So I appreciate that very much. But actually, I see Winnie, I was just mentioning her. I was actually telling her the other day that I feel like, I don't know if you ever go through seasons where you feel like your life's message. And so I feel like my life's message right now is just what we've been sharing about home and family, and finding your story in your home. And I really didn't think about let me see if I can get this off of my screen because I see I have a voicemail. But I didn't think about this until the other day. I don't know if y'all saw this, the little kitty cat message invite that we did, a reminder at the dental office with the girls. And Lily said at the end of that live, she said, that this is the Hamiltons helping you find the story of your home. And it was like, when she said it, it was just like something just like, that's it. We're not helping you tell it also, we're helping you find it. If you haven't found the story of your home or your family yet, we want to help you find that, just with encouragement. Hopefully we inspire you by, inviting you in to see little glimpses of our life. And just really just with the little tidbits and truth nuggets, that really God's, giving us. And so thank you for all of that. And then my second life message was home and family and helping you find your story. And then the second one that seems to be revolving in my mind a lot and in my spirit is about gratitude. And so that brings us to today and Thankful Thursday. So I'm so excited to be able to have this opportunity. I was praying this morning. I was like, Lord, I would have never thought that I would have ever taken the step to jump on live and to share my heart, because I am more of a person who expresses herself better in the written word than in spoken word, and I would much rather write all day long than speak. But I just really feel like this has been like a growing and a stretching for me, and I don't ever want to become complacent and think that I'm finished or that I've arrived in any area of my life. I want to continue to grow, and I think as we do that we stay young, and we stay young at heart, young at mind, young in body. And I just really feel like I have two little girls that are watching me, and I just want to be an encouragement to them, to explore and to try new things, learn new things, step out of your comfort zone, because doing the live thing has been a definite step out of the comfort zone for me. And Chad and I have had a few good little conversations about it, because he's not too keen on it. I was like, I'm not either. It's not my favorite thing in the world to do, but I just really feel like that, the world that we live in today, and that's where we are, and who knows even what the future holds. But anyway, just today I want to go into our Thankful Thursday. I really prepared something this morning because it was really on my mind, and And I just, you know, I mentioned I don't know if it was last week or week before when I talked about Thankful Thursday, but you know, it's going to be real and honest here, because I already, you know, I really am a firm believer in that, that little saying about, you know, that God can take your mess and turn it into a message. And I feel like that's a lot of what he's done in my life. And I don't know why I want to start crying, but I am. I feel like I'm going to start crying, because I had shared last week just a little blip, but I felt like I needed to expound on it a little bit more. Was that about 2 years ago? And not very many people know this, except for the people who, you know, are close to me and who walk through it with me. But I went through a bout of depression, and I just could not shake it, you know, and didn't realize that's what it was, and until, you know, I cried out and I sought help, and just really, you know, what God taught me, you know, during that time and overcoming that, and then walking through. I didn't even plan this to share this today, but I just really feel like, you know, that it might help somebody out there. And here comes my little tissue getter. Every time she sees tears come to my eyes, she brings it. Oh, and then the other one's coming from the bathroom with toilet paper. Oh, Sharon, thank you so much. I mean, that's one of my life's goal is to, you know, inspire other people. But I don't even know how this is going to fit into what I wanted to share. But just I battled secretly for a long time, and tried to put on the face, even for my family and for my husband. But I knew deep down that something was not right, and I just couldn't, for the life of me, like, what is wrong with me? Because I've waited my whole life for everything that I have. You know, a beautiful marriage, more kids, a beautiful family. You know, I'm getting to live my dream, to be at home with my kids and to home educate my kids instead of, you know, teaching a classroom of 25, you know, children in a public school. And so anyhow, I finally one night was like, I just cried out to my husband, and I said, I don't know what's wrong with me, but something is not right. And, you know, I began to express to him all the things that I just shared. And the thing that kept coming to me was my youngest, you know, she kept asking me if I was happy. And I was like, well, of course I'm happy. I have, you know, these are things that I'm living my dream. You know, the things that I cried out and believed God for many years, I'm getting to live that now. And but, you know, I told Chad that night, whenever I just, you know, really just bared my heart before him, and I said, something's, you know, not right. I don't know what it is. And I said, but I can't shake it. And I said, and then, you know, Lily keeps asking me if I'm happy. I am happy, but I can't get over this. And he's like, I know exactly what's wrong, you know. And I was like, well, please tell me, you know. And then when he told me, he says, I think you're depressed. And so, and I was like, when he said that, it just kind of pierced my soul. But at that same time, it was like, that's it. That's what's wrong with me. And I don't know why, but whenever, you know, he was so supportive and encouraging, and I was so thankful to him, just, you know, how he helped me through that time. And, you know, we sought out counseling, you know, to help me through that season. And really it was a season, you know, because I feel like that I'm on the other side of this. You know, I followed all of their, the protocol, you know, as far as, you know, the counselor had referred me, you know, to a psychiatrist to follow up with, you know, just medical treatment, you know, for the medical end of it and stuff. And so, and I did all of that, you know, and that was a season, and, you know, I'm on the other side of that. But during that season, you know, really what God taught me was just about, I was thankful for everything that I had. I was thankful that I was getting to live my dream. But, you know, to not just grow complacent and to take it for granted, but to stay active in my gratitude, that it's a practice, that it's not a once and for all thing. Yes, thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity, but, you know, thank you that I'm getting to do this every day. And then to see and to look for, I talked last week about, you know, the common days becoming, you know, ordinary days, becoming common days, becoming Thanksgiving, days of Thanksgiving. And so really for me, that's been one of the keys and helping me to come out of that hole, and helping me to walk in freedom in that area. And, you know, to realize the triggers and to keep them in check whenever, you know, those buttons want to be pushed to bring me into that downward spiral, because I don't ever want to go back to that place again. And I've had, you know, I had people reach out to me, or new relationships with people that I knew, and that, you know, I considered them a friend and all, but really it was like all in the same time, you know, that God used those relationships, our paths to cross again, to kind of bring me out of that also, just by having connection with life-giving people. And so today I want to, I did not totally plan to share that at all, but I don't know why, it just spilled out. So maybe it's for someone today who's watching. And because I know for me that, and I know you've probably heard this, those of you who are moms out there, that we set the tone for our home, that we are the ones that provide the atmosphere. And so I knew that it was important for me to not stay in that place, so that my family and my home would have a healthy atmosphere. And so, anyway, so today, I was just talking to a friend this week, and, you know, we were talking about just the world, and I was just like, you know, I can't go there. I can't stay in that place of what's going on in the world. Yes, I will catch the highlight reel of the news just so I stay abreast of what's going on. But, you know, following politics, and I know some people do, and you know, if you can do it, more power to you. But maybe because of the way I'm wired, I just can't stay in that place. And so, and I told her, I said, this is how I deal with the bleakness and the hopelessness of the world. I was like, do you know that Mother Teresa quote that starts with a question? And we were, and, you know, and so I told her, I said, it's this one right here. And I said, and it goes, I said, because honestly, I believe that this is who God made me to be. And I wrote it down because I don't want to mess it up. I always say, oh yeah, you know that it says something like this, but I wanted to read it as it is. So this is what Mother Teresa was quoted as saying, her quote that starts with a question. You might know it, and I'm sure you've heard it. She said, what can you do to promote world peace? Go home and love your family. So today we don't have to worry about what's going on in the world. We can cast all those cares on God. Our chief priority, our chief reason, our chief, you know, reason for having those children in our home, or even our grown adult children, I know I have both, is, you know, if we want to change the world, if we want to make an impact, if we want to make a difference, let it start in our family, by loving our family and loving them hard and loving them deep. And that's really the inspiration behind what Chad and I do at the Dusty Hive. Yes, we make things. We're makers, and we love providing things for, you know, people to make their home more beautiful and all. But really, when I was challenged to step out and to start letting my voice be heard, you know, through these Facebook Lives, you know, this is my heart's cry. And I want that for everyone that I encounter, everyone that might pop on and see this video by accident or hear it. You know, I want to see, you know, the world being impacted by families that love deep and families that love hard. And it starts with us as parents and as role models in our home, to embrace that yeah, we think we may not be able to go out into the world and bring world peace or change the political system or ABC, XYZ, whatever it is, but we can love our family. We can, take care of our home. We can help, our spouse along and work together and finding our story so that we leave a legacy and so that we leave, pride for our future generations to say, hey, I'm a Hamilton. My mama, my papa, my mama, my daddy, whatever, they worked hard, for me to have the peace and the freedom, that I have today, not just in the natural, but even, in here. And so I was thinking this morning, so this kind of combines my two life messages right now of home and family and gratitude. And I was thinking this morning about a barometer and what a barometer does. And a barometer, it measures, it's used in meteorology and all, but I started thinking of it, of this aspect, and what it does is, as far as measuring atmospheric pressure, about how we can find out that there is a barometer to find out where we are in our gratitude and in our gratefulness. And because we can say, yeah, I'm thankful for that. Geez, I'm blessed, whatever. But in being active, here's the barometer. And I actually looked it up because I started thinking about, like, well, what is the opposite? How do I know if I'm not being thankful? How do I know if I'm not being active in my gratitude? And so using the opposite of gratitude or the opposite of thankfulness as your barometer, if you see these things showing up in your life, it's time to check, your barometer. And so here are some of the things that I wrote down. If I can see them, I didn't want to wear my glasses the whole time because of the reflection thing. But let's see if I can find that part where I wrote it in my notes. So if we think about the pressure in our atmosphere of gratitude, we can measure it against the negative or the opposite things causing pressure. And so here are the things. If you're displeased, you're dissatisfied, joyless, sad, unhappy, unpleased, unsatisfied, that those are the things that we can use to measure the barometric pressure in our level of gratitude. And so if the pressure reading is reflecting any of those things, joylessness, sad, if you're unpleased, you're unsatisfied, unhappy, maybe we aren't being active in our gratitude, and we've allowed something to come in and zap our strength of that. And so I know I think it's like a human nature thing. I mean, most people I know, like, if they can point out the negative in themselves, or they realize the negative of what's going on, and sometimes it's a little harder and you have to dig deeper for the good stuff. Well, if we see the joylessness and the sadness and the unhappiness in our life, that's a good starting point. And so if you find yourself in this place, you can change the pressure of the atmosphere. And there are two things that I thought that you can do. And I've done these just recently because I was starting to feel, like, oh, that button's trying to be pushed, I need some help here. I need to do something. So these were the two things that I did in order to overcome in that area, and for the barometric pressure to change for the positive instead of the negative when it came to gratitude. The first thing you can do is tell someone. Sometimes it can be hard to dig your way out of the effects of a negative or the opposite atmosphere. But if you let someone in, if you let a friend encourage you, and just knowing that you have someone in your corner praying for you and cheering for you, that you can make it, you know, it can make all the difference in the world. And sometimes we just need someone to point out our blind spots and to remind us from where we've come, you know, and that's all we need sometimes to just trigger that gratitude. It's like, hey, you remember when? Well, look where you are now. And then, you know, suddenly that spring and that well of gratitude, you know, can begin to flow. So that's the first thing. Heather, I see you. Thank you for your encouragement, girl. And so first tell someone, and it's always good to just like kind of air it and to breathe it and to let it out. And the second thing is that I can recommend is to get alone. You need time alone to think and to pray, maybe to even write over the things, you know, that maybe have zapped your strength, or maybe, you know, just to have that time to trigger the things that you are thankful for and to begin, you know, to think about those things and to write them out. But being alone by yourself with no distraction, it gives you a chance to clear your mind and to focus and to think more clearly. And it can also be good for you to think deeply, because when you do, you know, it begins to inspire creativity and you begin to appreciate the relationships that you have more after spending time alone. And so those are two things that you can do if you find the barometric pressure, you know, of your level of gratitude is on the negative side, is tell someone and then to get alone. And then because when we're thankful, if you think about it, we love better and we love deeper and we know peace, we experience joy, and we find hope whenever we're active in our gratitude. And so I just want to leave you with this little quote I came across earlier in the week, because like I said, this is kind of like my life's message right now. And so it's like I kind of glean and absorb every little thing that I read or come across concerning gratitude. But it says, and this could be a good place for you to start too if you've been struggling with this. It says, I am thankful for nights that turned into mornings, friends that turned into family, dreams that turned into reality, and likes that turned into love. And so that's a good place to start, is to begin to ponder those things and, you know, tell someone and get alone by yourself. And, you know, that appreciation and that gratitude will begin to bubble up. And so on this Thankful Thursday, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving. I've decided to make every Thursday Thanksgiving Day. And so I'm going to end with saying happy Thanksgiving to y'all. And that I hope you have a blessed day. And that, you know, I just really feel like, I didn't think I was going to do this, but I just, if you're out there and you know, you can message me, or if you just want to drop a little prayer hand in the comments, you know, if you need prayer concerning some of the things that I mentioned today, I would be glad to do that. And so anyway, just know that on the other side of this camera, you got a friend in me, and I will pray for you if you do ask me to. And so anyway, hi, Miss Joyce. Thank you so much for joining, and that is encouraging to hear from you, that you think that this is beautiful. I hope you have a beautiful day. So I'm not going to stay on much longer, because I already went into some things that I didn't intend to, and made it a little bit longer. And I know that it's hard to you know, stay tuned for a long period of time. But once again, happy Thanksgiving, y'all, and have a blessed day. And this is Anjali from the Dusty Hive, where the Hamiltons not only help you tell the story of your home, but we're helping you find the story of your home, as quoted by my Lily Bug. And so y'all have a great day.